Live, and I see we have a lot of people joining us still, and we are at the top of the hour, so we'll go ahead and get started. And this is being recorded if you're joining in late, so no worries, we'll send it out afterwards. But hello, everyone, and welcome. So we really appreciate you guys joining us today. For those of you that I haven't had the chance to meet yet, my name is Caitlin Schlichting, and I'm one of the co-founders here at Spraye. And we are super excited to have you here for today's webinar, especially because we know that this is a very busy time of year. And we know that you guys are taking time out of your day to join us. So we really appreciate you, you doing that and being here with us today. So today we are partnering with Voice for Turf, also known as Voice for Pest. And they are going to be talking about how their system integrates with Spraye and also how they can help your team answer more calls, automatically route calls like to the right place, and then also how you can document activity directly inside Spraye in your customer accounts. So lots of cool stuff there. I'm very excited to introduce today's presenter. We have Raymond Kidwell. I hope I'm saying the last name right. Um,
You are, yep.
and Raymond is the Director of Business Development at Voice for Turf, Voice for Pest. And Raymond is going to walk us through not only how the integration works between our two systems, but also how Voice for Turf's phone system and AI tools in general can help support your office team, your staff, create a better experience for not only your staff, but also your customers, of course. So with that, I will go ahead and turn it over to Raymond. Raymond, we're very excited to have you with us today, and I will let you take it from here.
Well, thank you. I think I'm the most excited person to be here today, but we really have no way to measure that. But thank you for having me. We are very excited about our partnership with Spraye and our integration. And I got to tell you, and I'm not getting paid extra for this, but because of what I do, I work in a lot of different CRM softwares, and I really like the way Spraye is laid out in the flow. It's really intuitive. I was very impressed with it. So, and I'm sure all the people on here are as well, because that's why they're using it. So anyway, but hello everybody. My name is Raymond. I'm with, as Caitlin mentioned, Voice for Turf. As you can see behind me, I have Voice for Pest, Voice for Turf. We also have Voice for Pros. So what I'm going to do today is start off by showing you our integration features, as Caitlin mentioned. Then we're going to talk about we have a couple of different phone solutions. We have what we call our UC, which is basically our voice-only phone solution. We also have a full omni-channel contact center solution. Then we're going to talk about some of our AI features. We have a receptionist agent and a business analysis AI dashboard. That's a lot of stuff. I'm going to hit a little bit here and there. I'm going to be switching screens back and forth, and sometimes I'm a little old and I fumble, but I promise we'll get through it. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So let me get rid of this screen here. There we go. And I'm going to slide the webinar over here, and I'm going to start sharing my screen. 1 second. There we go. Okay, and let me share my screen. There we go. Okay, can you see my screen, Caitlin? It says Spraye on it.
Looks good.
Okay, all right. So just a few slides, and I'm going to just start showing you stuff. But a little bit about us. We started in 1993. We started off as not an internet, sorry, a phone system and network software company back when phone systems were big boxes bolted on the wall in a dark corner, little scary room in an office with a bunch of wires. Of course, now everything's internet-based. We started specializing in the pest and lawn industry about 15 years ago. We have thousands of pest control company customers and lawn care across the state. We even have some in Canada, so I like to say we're an international company. We also have offices and data centers on both coasts. That's important because that's how we make sure that we keep everything running. We control our own system. We're not up on the Google Cloud or the Amazon Cloud. So when you hear about these outages that happen and airlines go down for a few hours, that doesn't happen to us. We control our system and keep it up and running all the time. And having servers on both coasts, we can actually, in the middle of the phone call, switch you from one coast to the other to keep everything working if there's any reason to. We are a U.S.-based team. A lot of our employees live in New Jersey, which is where we started. So there's still, language barrier sometimes, depending on where you call from. And then we answer the phone live, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern. Like I said, U.S.-based. We have online training videos available anytime you want them, so you can learn as you go. We also have some FAQ videos like, well, how do I do this? You can just go watch a video. But we also offer live training, unlimited, free. So anytime you want training, we do it. We have a trainer, full-time trainer. That's what he does. So, one of the things we want to make sure of is, and what we kind of specialize is, we don't just set you up with the phone system. We set you up with the phone solution that's going to help your business grow and do the things you want it to do. And a little bit about the name, we are Affiliated Technology Solutions. We actually have 3 brand names: Voice for Pest, Voice for Turf, Voice for Pros. But we're all the same people. I'm wearing my Voice for Turf shirt today. You can't see it, the logo. But once you get past the brand name, it's all the same people and we're the same company. All right, so I'm going to talk about the integration features first. Then I'm going to talk about our phone system, our UC voice phone system, our contact center solution, and then we're going to talk about some AI features, our voice receptionist, X-ray dashboard, and we have a lot of other features, but not sure how much time we're going to have to get into that. So I'm going to bring my. I'm going to stop sharing this screen. Give me 1 second. I told you I was going to fumble a little bit. There we go. Let me stop sharing this one. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, just kind of go through, hang on 1 second, the features of it. Share that. There we go. Sorry about that. Okay. Intelligent call. So these are the features of our integration with Spraye. Intelligent call routing, screen pop, click to call, and an auto note. And I'm going to go into each. I'm just going to give a brief explanation, and then I'm going to be really risky and try to show you a live demo of some of these features right here and now. So intelligent call routing. So what that means is, when somebody calls you, before you even hear the phone ring, our system looks at that number, looks in your Spraye database, and looks for a match. If we find an account that has that phone number on it, then we know that that's a customer. If there is no match, then we assume it's a lead. Most of the time it's a lead. It could be a customer that's calling you from a phone number that you don't have in your system. Once you add that number, then the next time they call, it will be matched as a customer. Most of the time it's leads, could be a salesperson, but generally when somebody's calling you, they're not a customer, we know it's a lead. So that allows you to do a couple pretty powerful things. One is you can route those calls directly. A lot of companies have like, customers press 1, all others press 2, or new business press 2, and you can't control what people press. So you end up with customers going the wrong way and a lot of disorganization as the calls come in. So what we can do, though, since we know that number exists in your database, it's a customer, or you have a relationship with them, we can route them straight through if that's what you want. So you can just have customer calls come right in, and you'll know they're a customer. It can be identified on this. If you're using our soft phone on the screen, if you're using a desk phone, it'll tell you who that customer, who that customer is. And so that way you can either just have them come right in, or you can have customer-specific auto attendant. If you know it's a customer, just billing, press 1, scheduling, press 2, whatever you'd like to do. And then the other thing is, if you know it's a lead, then a lot of our customers, if it's not a customer match, they have that caller here, an auto attendant that says customers press 1, all others press 2, because that way they can kind of get the customers back over where they want to be. If that's not a big deal for you and you don't care and you just want them to come in, that's fine too. This is all about what's best for you. The other nice benefit to this feature is it allows you to manage those calls and the overflows differently. You can have different messages. So if it's a customer, they might hear a special about, hey, we'll give you a discount if you sign up for autopay. If it's not a customer, it can be more of a marketing message. You can have different handling times. Customers usually don't cancel you if you make them wait 2 minutes, whereas a lead is not going to stick around that long, right? They're going to go somewhere else. So you can have customers on hold longer if you guys are busy, or you can have less hold time for non-customers, and maybe you can have it overflow to a salesperson or an AI agent or an answer, or whatever you want to do with it to grab that call live. And then also it allows you to report on them differently. So you can easily track customer calls versus lead calls, non-customer calls. And so that's the beauty of intelligent call routing. The next feature is your screen pop, which is exactly what it sounds like. And I'm going to show you that. If everything goes well, I'm going to do it live. If not, I made a video. I think we're going to be fine though. So what happens is when a call comes in, because we know that's a customer, we match it with the customer's account and it pops up on your screen. So when the person answers the phone, you're already sitting there with your Spraye system up on the screen, the account pops up. So that's a really nice feature because it's more efficient for you and your employees. You don't have to identify the caller. You don't have to ask them for a name or address. And sometimes people have unusual names. Their addresses are hard to find. Sometimes you can't hear people. So it's just more efficient. You can get through the beginning of the call faster. It also provides a warmer experience for the customer because you can just say, oh, is this Mr. Jones on Wilson Street? Oh, it's been a while, right? You don't have to go through and drag all this information out of them. So it's a really beneficial feature, especially for those people when they're taking those phone calls. You also get, I went a little early, but you also get a screen pop if it's not a customer, right? So it pops up, so you're already there. You can quickly go into the part of the software you want to add them as a lead or a customer, whatever you would want to do with that call. So the screen pop covers you both ways. We also have click to call. So what that means is all you do is you just, oh, sorry, that went a little too fast on my day. You click the phone number in the Spraye in the account, and it automatically places the call to that customer. Again, more efficient. You can do things more quickly. Also, you don't miss dial numbers, right? You don't end up calling the wrong person, wasting your time, things like that. So we have intelligent call routing, screen pop, and we have our click to call. Then we have our auto note with call recording link. So once a call is concluded, within just a brief period of time, it depends sometimes on the length of the call, but usually within just a minute or two, you have a note in there that documents the call. And I'm going to show you what those notes look like. But it documents the call. There's a time of the call, the date of the call. And in those notes, there's a URL that you would copy and paste and open up the call recording in the AI summary and things like that. And I know that Caitlin and her team we're working together to get that link to be clickable so you don't have to copy paste it. So in the future, I think probably the near future, you'll just be able to go right into the note and click it. But right now it's still pretty easy. You just copy paste, and I'm going to show you how that works. We have a lot of great information on that auto note. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing here, and I am going to actually share and show you a couple of the features within the system. So let me share this screen here. There we go. All right. Okay. All right. So what you should be seeing here is you should be seeing half of my Spraye on the left side, and this is my phone dialer. I'm logged into our phone system, and I've opened up my web phone or my soft phone. A lot of people have different things, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you how the click-to-call works, and then I'm also going to show you how the screen pop works. So I'm going to answer it quickly because I'm doing all these different things. It won't ring more than 3 or 4 times because I just got a lot of technological stuff going on that you would not have as a customer. So when I click this button, it's going to call me, I'm the customer, right? But that number is going to ring in my phone system. So you're about to see that. So here we go. I'm going to click it. I'm answering it, and there's my screen pop. So it happened very quickly. Let me hang up. I've got everything split up, but you can see how the screen popped up. I'm going to do it one more time because I know it went very quickly. I'm calling my customer. Now I'm answering it, and boom, there it goes. I'm the customer, of course, answering the phone, and now you have my screen pop. That's also how the screen pop works, but this is kind of an odd looking version. So that's why it looks a little bit different. So, but as you can see, it's very quick. It pops very quickly. And then once I've opened up the screen pop, once I've got the screen pop, I can just click here and it opens up my account. I'll go ahead and show the full screen. Now I'm in the account and I've got a screen pop and I can do what I need to do. Okay. So I'm going to, again, I'm sorry for all the different sharings, but I just have multiple things I'm showing and I can't do it all on one screen. So I'm going to stop sharing that. And I'm going to come back over here, put this right here. There we go. And all right. So now we're going to talk about the auto note. Let me share that screen. Should be it here. All right. Should be seeing notes in an account. So I want to kind of show you how the notes work. I'm going to go back to customers. Okay, good. I can see the screen I'm sharing, and that's the right one. Good. And I'm just going to pull up Jamie. Okay. So this is my coworker. There's a few test calls in here. I've got test calls on mine, but as you can see in the quick view, if you scroll down, you can see these notes. So these are the automatic notes created by um, our phone system and pushed directly into the account inside Spraye. So this is the quick view. So if I click here, it actually opens up the note section and takes me directly to the note. Right. So I can see on that note what number called me, who answered the call, how long the call lasted, the date and the time of the call, and then there's a summary of the call right there in the note. Right. So you don't have to do anything else if you want to know what happened on that call. Now these are test calls where Jamie was calling himself. He's just saying, "Hey, this is a test call. That's a test message. 123 123." So that's why you can see like there's not a lot of information, but the call involved a brief exchange centered on a text message. So you'll get this summary of the call right here in the customer's account. You don't have to do anything else. And for true conversations, it tells you pretty much exactly what happened. Unfortunately, we weren't able to create an actual conversation, but you can see the transcripts there. Also, what you have here is you have a link, so a URL. So if I copy that, and there we go. I'm missing the H for some reason. There we go. And then I paste it. And again, that will be clickable before too long. Here is my, oh, that one, there we go. That's the first one. So anyway, let me do the second. This is the second note. Yeah, let's do this note here. I did this like 15 times today and it worked great. It popped up. But so like, again, these are test calls. So some of the notes are a little odd, but I'm going to, you'll see what we have here. Oh, my goodness. You know what? I've got one right here. Let's just do that. So this is a good example of what you'll see when you open up that link. You see the call information. You see the sentiment and retention risk. So you'll know if the caller was happy, unhappy. The reason there isn't anything in here, it was one person calling himself and doing like a test call, right? Uh, our AI can determine the retention risk. So it can determine based on the conversation if that customer is at risk, if they're unhappy, it maybe you need to be made aware of that caller. You need to give that caller a hug and make sure that they're happy. And we also have some features available where we can actually send you an alert via text or via email when you have a sentiment or a sentiment that's agreeable, or I'm sorry, disagreeable or very disagreeable. You see the summary of the call. This is the same summary that's in the note before you open up the link. You have the call recording here, so if you want to listen to the call. And then you'll have the full transcript. Again, this is the transcript, but it's not a real conversation, so there's not a lot there. But that's how the notes work within Spraye. So they're in the account. They get pushed in automatically after the call ends. So we've looked at the click to call, the screen pop, and the notes. The intelligent call routing is kind of invisible because it works in the system before you actually hear the phone ring. So those are the features with the Spraye integration. So I hope everybody get a good idea of this. Again, this will be recorded, and we're happy to share my presentation. And I know I'm kind of going quickly, but we've got a good amount of ground to cover, and I know everybody's busy, and I'm trying not to take up too much of your time. All right, so that is that. We're going to stop sharing. Okay, and then we're going to come back. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you our actual phone solution, just a couple of highlights on that. Let me pull it over here. There we go. Okay. Let me share that one. All right, here we go. So I'm actually logged into, this is our, what we call our UC system, a unified communication system. It's voice only. It does have a texting component, but the texting component within this phone solution is limited to really like an individual texting. Like I can text somebody and they can text me back, but there's really no way to make it a group text and or to have any oversight. It's like if somebody calls me directly, it's just an individual communication. We do have a texting platform that you can actually have group text, have your customer send you a text to your number, your company number, or multiple numbers. You can come in, you can have multiple people see it. If you want, you can set up drip campaigns, you can run reports. So we do have a texting platform that is a full-blown texting platform, but it's not included in this phone solution. But I just want to show you very quickly, this is a VoIP internet phone system. A lot of internet phone systems share similar functionality. The big thing that we do that's a lot different is that wonderful integration I just showed you. But also we have some pretty cool features in here depending on what you're looking for from a phone system. We can route and handle calls any way you want. We can have, some people use ring all where it calls in and there's 3 people in the office and everybody's phone rings and you have some preset route way to handle that. But we can also do things what we call like longest idle, where it goes based on whoever had the last communication, who has been sitting around the longest. Basically, it's a fair way to distribute calls. If there's 3 people in the office, and I haven't taken a call in 10 minutes and the other 2 have, I'll get the next one. Right. The system knows if I'm busy automatically. So if it's busy, if I'm busy, it just goes right to the next person. So there's no wait. Is he going to answer it? There's no lag time. It just, we can route those calls any way you want. We can also set up any kind of overflow that you like. We can have callers go into a queue. We can have them hear messages. We can do all kinds of wonderful things with call routing. Pretty much anything you want to get done with call handling, call routing. Our holiday hours are very easy to use. And again, I'm going somewhat quickly because I could spend a lot of time on showing you these individual features of the phone system, but the call routing is very easy to. I'm sorry, the holiday schedule, very easy to set up for the whole year. So if you guys are closed on Thanksgiving, the system knows it. We even send you out emails ahead of each major holiday reminding you about that and letting you know we're available to help you with our support. If you never touch your phone system, that's fine. We'll do everything for you. Some people like to get in there and do stuff themselves. That's the reason we have all the videos and the training. But it's also a very easy use system. What I wanted to show you mostly today is the call center functionality of this system. And the difference between call center functionality and just the standard phone system is this allows you to see what is going on and what your employees are doing. Are they online? Are they offline? Those type of things. And actually what I'm going to do, give me 1 second here, is I'm actually going to bring this window over. There we go. Because this is an actual customer that is using the call center functionality. So you can see here, there's my employees. Over here, I can see green means they're available for a phone call. Red means they're on the phone. And if they're grayed out, as you can see here, that just means they're not online. And you can see that I can tell this employee's been at lunch for 21 minutes. So you can manage your employees from anywhere. If you're on vacation and you 3,000 miles away, you can log in and you can see what your employees are doing. Are they on the phone? Are they taking phone calls? I can run reports. I can see all my calls coming in. One thing I do want to show you that's also really, really interesting that I don't believe anybody else does is we actually set our AI reception agents up as employees in the phone system. So this is a queue of just AI phone calls. So I can actually see every AI agent phone call. I can see what happened in the system. I can listen to the recording, just like a human being. So you can manage your AI phone system employees just like your humans. You can actually listen to their calls live. So it's very interesting. But again, I can see all these reports here. I can run different reports. Now, there's a lot of options that you can see. This one, they don't have a lot of options opened up here, but you can see just about every stat you want to see on your phone system just by adding those columns. So now I'm going to see more information. Then I can go into my agent stats. So if you have a few people in the office and you want to make sure that they're taking the calls and they're doing the things they're supposed to do, I'll skip down past the AI. I can see that Crystal has taken 21 calls, her total talk time. And again, there's a lot of options that you can look at. You can even see outbound. So if you have somebody that's supposed to be taking call or making calls, making collection calls and renewal calls, you can track that as well. I can see here that Emily's made 85 outbound calls. If I want to see those calls, I can drill right into it. I can listen. I can see that, what happened with the call. I can even select the disposition if I want to. And again, all this information here. I can also see how my employees are doing as far as, are they logging in and working when they're supposed to be working? Are they doing the things right in the system? I'm just going to go to yesterday, and I know I'm going really fast. I apologize. I'm going to go
Raymond, can I introduce or interrupt real quick? I think
Yes.
it might not have followed you to your other screen.
Oh, am I showing the wrong screen?
I think possibly.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You're right. You're absolutely right. Hang on one second. I apologize, everybody. Darn it. I was afraid that would happen.
That's okay. I was like, I think I was thinking it.
No, oh well. Let's see. I'm gonna make sure I got the right one this time. There it. This should be it. There it is. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that, everybody. Now you're seeing the right screen. Okay, so very quickly then, I'm just going to go back and do a very quick review. You guys see the queues now. I'm assuming you see queues, customer support. This is where you can see the individual calls and run reports here. This is the individual employees. This is the AI agents actually set up in the system. And I was showing you how you can see the outbound calls employees make, the inbound calls they take. You can drill down and see every call. You can listen to the calls. This is what I thought I was showing you. And then what I did want to show you is this is our agent availability. So what this shows you is, again, this allows you to manage your employees from anywhere. Green means they're online taking phone calls. Any other color means they weren't. But you should, as long as you're using the system right, you'll know why. And we can see here that Zachary was online taking calls. Then he went offline other. Then he was online, another little other, another other, and then a lunch. So you can see that everybody here is pretty much online taking phone calls, right? So which is what you really want when it comes to your employees. So let me go back here. And then the other feature we have that within the call center functionality that's really neat and is our portals. So you can create wall boards, you can create portals. Now I can also masquerade as an actual supervisor, and we would see a lot more in-depth dashboards, but you can see pretty much anything you want to see. You can create multiple ones, you can create individual single stats. You can even create a call waiting wall board that you can set a timer on. So if let's say somebody calls in and they've been waiting more than 30 seconds, it'll automatically pop up. Your employees will hear it. They'll see it on their screen. So you can do a lot of really cool stuff with the wall board functionality. But that's really what I wanted to show you the first time and the second time of our phone system. We have a lot of other features and functionalities, but today this is just kind of giving an example of some of the stuff we do. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. Let's stop that sharing on that one. And I'm going to bring this one up. Here we go. And I'm going to jump right into our AI dashboard here. So what we have is we have X-ray. And let me make sure I'm sharing the right one here. A lot of options. There we go. You should see, keep me honest here, Caitlin, you should see it says X-ray hub over here. You got some black boxes right here. I see it. Okay. All right. All right, so again, this is a very comprehensive system. It's a call analysis platform, but it's really a business analysis platform. A few things about us, our AI, we have an X-ray partner called X-ray Labs. They started doing data analysis in the lawn and pest industries exclusively a few years before the big AI break a few years ago. That's all we do. Our AI only analyzes pest and lawn calls. And that's important because it's not trying to understand multiple different industries. It doesn't try to understand conversations about air ballooning or boating or fishing. It only needs to work work and process and understand conversations about lawn care, pest control. So it understands what aeration and overseeding is. It knows what that means. It knows what the conversations and the words people use when they want to buy lawn care and want to cancel it or complain about it or need their weeds resprayed. So the analysis you get is really amazing. And it's not just it's not just for the phone call. It gives you information for every part of your business. So the way the X-Ray platform is set up is it has the performance center. So the performance center is where the call analysis is broken down by category. I always like to start with marketing because that's where your calls start. A lot of people have tracking numbers, right? So they have a tracking number out there. So let's say you put up a billboard for a fall overseeding. You give that a specific number. So when somebody calls that specific number, then you can then track it and say, oh, 58 people called that billboard. The problem is when people call, nowadays, almost everybody uses their cell phone. And when you call that company from that billboard and you sign up with them, what are you going to do the next time you want to call them? You're going to go to your cell phone and you're going to call that number you saved. So over time, your tracking numbers get watered down. And a lot of people are trying to reconcile the number of leads they're getting through their tracking numbers with what they have in their, their spray system and other things. And it's almost impossible. The only way to do it is to listen to every single call. Well, not anymore, because X-Ray can do that for you. We can tie those numbers together. So we can see here as an example, the new mailer moving campaign. Let me go back here. They had 1,000, this is actual real phone calls, 1,436 calls. Out of that, only 102 of those calls were qualified leads, right? So 10%. So what's a qualified lead? Qualified lead is somebody that's wants to buy something, and they want to buy something that you offer, and they want to buy it in a place you offer it, right? So that's a qualified lead. It can tell you how many you converted, and now conversions depends on what you decide a conversion is. Some companies only sell over the phone, some only go out and do estimates, some do both. So this is customizable enough to know if you consider closing a sale over the phone a conversion, you consider setting an appointment a conversion, you can consider selling a one-time service a conversion. X-Ray is smart enough to know that. In each of these four sections, you can go into the details of every single call. I'm not going to do it all the way through just to save time, but as an example, you can see this is the summary of the call. So this is where that summary that gets pushed into Spraye comes from. It's created within the X-Ray platform. You don't have to have X-Ray to have the summaries, but that's where it's created, and then we push it in as a separate service. So you can see this is a summary of the call. You can see the details of the call. If you want to add notes, there's the full transcript. I can even listen to the call. If it's the right type of call, X-Ray will score it, and I'll show you that. I can export this, I can go through, I can see everything. So again, I can come down, I can get the details on each of these campaigns. The next thing I'd like to look at is the sales calls, okay? So, and I just have to change my date range. So we actually have some data in here to look at. Okay, so these are actual conversations that your employees had with, or not yours, but the employees here had with people wanting to buy something. And I can sort this by my different agents. As you noticed, I can also sort it by my AI. I can sort it by what type of lead. Our X-Ray is smart enough to know when somebody's calling in for a pre-treat versus a regular termite treatment. I know that that doesn't really apply much for lawn care, but I like to point that out because it's a very specific thing that most AIs can't comprehend the difference, right? But it can tell you that. You can do by inbound, outbound. If you have multiple locations, you can do multiple locations. So again, 857 opportunities came in, 346 were converted, which is a 40% conversion rate. I can go in and see what my conversions were. I sold recurring, I sold schedule, I sold one time. Again, I can drill down into those details. Then I can see what I didn't sell. Right? I quoted these, I didn't sell them. I need to call them back, need to do a follow-up. We offered an estimate, but they didn't let me schedule it. Or they're just not interested. And then I can actually go into those not interested calls, and you can see the sentiment here, how the person was during the call, right? And then if I go into the details, I can see how the employee did on this call. This employee did not try to close it. They did not overcome an objection, right? So this is all really pertinent information that you can use. But there's also in this same platform, we actually create a whole call scoring thing, so you don't have to go into each of these calls like this. Customer service calls, same thing. It gives you, I'm not going to go through it in detail because, again, just for the time, but you can see all these details of customer service calls. You can see service delivery issues. Wait, let's try that again. Last 12 months, there we go. Yeah, that's better. Routine operations, why are people calling you? These are all the different reasons calls. Now you know why. If you have technicians late, you know exactly why and who and when. You have documentation of all those details. And then the same thing with cancellations. So this is a lot of really good information, right? And you say, okay, well, that's great. What do I do with all this really great information, right? Do I have to go in here every day and pull up and look and run all this stuff? Well, no, you don't. Because what we've done with our X-ray platform is we've created these hubs that allow you to go in and very easily manage these calls. We have one for customers, we have one for sales, we also have one for AI conversations, right? So if you're the customer service supervisor, all you have to do is log into your X-ray hub, and here's every single call that came through that you need to pay attention to. Right? I can sort it by risk, high or low. I can assign it to someone, because what it does is it creates a case for every single call. And then within this case, I can see the summary. It tells me if this was a service risk, a retention risk. I can see the phone number. I can listen to the phone call. I can read the transcript. And again, I can assign it to somebody. The nice thing about this is this case stays open until you close it. So what happens is if I assign it to Caitlin, right, I don't have to go back to her and say, did you call that customer? And she doesn't have to come back to me and say, hey, I called, this is what happened. Because when she calls them, that call is going to be documented in this case. I'll be able to come in and see everything about her call that I can see on this one. So I can see her conversation, I can see the summary, I can listen to it, I can tell if she resolved it, right? Everything's good, Caitlin did a great job, I can go in here and resolve the case and it goes away, right? You can even set a timer basically and say, you know what, I'm going to follow up with this in a month. And so there's action hubs for sales as well. I can get, these are all my leads. I can see, are they cold, are they hot? And then again, I also get this for my AI agent. So if you're using our AI voice agent, let's say for after hours, you don't have to sift through a bunch of emails or all this stuff. You just come in here in the morning and here's every single call your AI receptionist took the night before. You can see exactly what the conversation was. You can see what they told them, and then you know what action needs to be taken. And again, you can assign it, you can resolve it, all those kind of things. So that's a very quick overview of our AI platform, X-ray. And I think I actually got to show you the whole thing this time and didn't show you the wrong screen. So the other thing I wanted to talk about, AI related, is our AI reception agent, which is, again, what we're seeing here. We have an AI reception agent. As I mentioned earlier, it's integrated into your phone system as an agent, as an employee, so you can monitor, listen. Every call goes right into the Action Hub. And again, because our AI platform, our AI engine only analyzes industry-specific calls, our AI agent really understands what our customers are calling them for. If you're using it for after hours, you know, it can do pretty much anything you would want it to be able to do. You know, this is not integrated into Spraye. That's coming, but right now it's a reception agent. It takes calls. It can it'll take messages. They show up in the Action Hub. If you have it taking calls during the day or when there's somebody available, it can actually make live transfers, right? And I've actually got a phone number that I'm going to, it's in this presentation, and we're going to send it out. And you can actually call. Her name is Tammy, and you can talk to Tammy, the reception agent. If you want to use an AI reception agent, one of ours, you choose whether it's a male voice, female voice, the name, whatever. That's all completely up to you. But our demo agent, her name is Tammy, and she's pretty amazing. So let me just bring this back up then. I think I can just do this without having to stop sharing again. There we go. All right, so that's the phone solution, AI. Very quickly, we do have an omni-channel. What time is it? Okay, an omni-channel phone solution. So if you're interested in having all of your communication channels in one screen, and more people are, because a lot of times you have a phone, you have Spraye, you have email, you have web chat, you have texting, you have all these different windows, and you're going to go over the place. So what our omni-channel solution does is allows you to stay focused right there with all of your communication. We can route emails, voice calls, chats, text messages, just like phone calls, right? Um, we can route based on keywords, keywords in the subject or the body of an email as well as the subject, texting as well, and you get full comprehensive reporting about all of those um, uh, uh, conversation. So as a supervisor, you can go in and you can see, it's called the cradle to grave. It shows you every single thing. You can see how long an email sat in an employee's inbox, how long they actually looked at it, how long it took them to respond to it. Same thing with text messages, same thing with phone calls. So if you really want to have full visibility into what's going on with the people that take your phone calls and be able to bring all of those communications into one platform, the omni-channel solution is the way to go. It's integrated into Spraye as well. So if your employee just has the Spraye window up and they want to make a phone call in they just click the phone number just like I did earlier, so they don't have to bounce around to a bunch of different screens. So we have our standard UC phone system, and then we also have our contact center solution that you can have without the contact center solution kind of connects to the standard system, but you can have the standard system without the contact center. You can have the contact center and just live in that environment as well. Again, going really quickly on here. I'm kind of going through. I already talked about the AI agent, and I'm almost done. Just some of our other features. We have an auto dialer that you can use to make collection calls, renewal calls, really whatever you want to do with it. It's integrated in, so you can load it up. We do it by campaign. You would export a customer list from Spraye and upload it, or you can actually just have it emailed to the dialer once the campaign is created. And it can make the phone calls. You can throttle it. So you can say, okay, listen, I only want that dialer to make a phone call if I have 3 people available to answer the phone, right? Because you don't want the dialer to make a call and somebody answer it and then there's nobody there, right? And then there's 3 different ways you can use the dialer. One is what we call one way, where let's say you want to send a phone call out to your customer, let them know that you're going to be closed tomorrow because of weather or whatever it might be. You don't expect them to call you back or respond. You can do that. We also have what we call a press 1, where it goes out, somebody answers the phone, and they get a message that says, this is Raymond from Raymond's Lawn Care. We'd like to speak to you about your account. Please press 1. They press 1 and it automatically connects to an agent. We also have what's called live answer, and the system actually detects when it's a human being and automatically connects the caller to your employee. That feature works well, but it's based on the internet. So you have to be careful of, if we have a lot of people work remotely, they have different internet levels. During school hours, all the kids come home at 3:30 and bandwidth drops through the whole neighborhood. So you can have some lag with the direct answer, live answer, depending on local internet. But where you have people in an office with stable internet, it's reliable. It works very well. We already talked about the call center. We have Field Mobile, which we can actually connect our phone system to your cell phone. We have a technician extension. You can either have the mobile app, which allows your technicians to make and receive phone calls through the phone system. We can record them like we do office calls. We can actually create those notes and push them into Spraye for every technician conversation as well. We can also, if you're using our texting solution, we can also do the same thing with text messages. So if you're using our texting, if you think about it, you can get every single conversation with the customer from every employee other than a live conversation out in the field, summarized and pushed into their account in Spraye. BCID, that's branded calling ID. You want to make sure that the customers know it's you, and so they answer the phone. That service actually identifies make sure that your company's name and logo, depending on the carrier, wireless carrier, comes up. We also have number reputation management to help with spam. And we have a lot of other great features, and I don't just want to keep going on and on. I don't know, Caitlin, if we're set up to have any people typing in questions, or if this is just more of a kind of a one-way presentation. So if we have any questions that people have typed in or need to be answered, I'm glad to answer them.
I do think that there is chat
There's
enabled.
there is a question portal. Someone asked, will this help a solo operator?
Oh, that's a great question. Well, the solo operator, like I mentioned, we have the Field Mobile solution we have. that works a couple ways. You can use, every extension in our phone system, you can either answer the phone with a soft phone, computer phone. You can, here, let me stop sharing my screen. There we go. You can answer it with a computer phone, a desk phone, or our mobile app. That's included. So if you have an extension or phone system, you're a single operator, then we can route those calls all the ways I talked about, customer, non-customer. So if you're out in the field and you get a phone call, wouldn't it be nice to know that it's a customer? You know what? I can call them back, right? I'll finish this job in 15 minutes and call them back. But if it's not a customer that comes up as a lead, then maybe you're going to go ahead and stop and answer that phone, right? So it gives you the ability to answer the calls easier, and the calls you want to answer when you want to answer them. Also, if you actually want to have a life, after hours maybe, then we can take those calls, right? We can take your company calls and your personal calls, and we can separate those. We can give you we can give you our SIM on your cell phone along with your Verizon SIM, for example. So your company calls come in through your cell phone, but they're easily identified and separated. And also with our AI reception agent, then that those calls are going to get answered, right? Because you're not always available to answer the phone call. And then the benefit too, even if you are the only one taking a call, it's hard to remember every conversation you have with a customer, right? So if you're you're working and you take 10 calls, you get back at the end of the day, you go right into Spraye and you can see every conversation you had. You can see the summary. You can, okay, I remember that. I can follow up on that. So it really helps individual operators in a lot of ways. And our extensions start at $29.95 a month, right? Now there's a few other costs there, but we have single operator customers. Depending on what other features you want, it's $50, $60 a month. And we can even be your cell phone provider with unlimited data through AT&T for about $45 a month, give or take. So there's a lot of options for the smaller companies as well. Anything else?
That's the only question so far.
Okay.
All right. Well, I guess I'm glad we got a little early. Sorry for some of the technical difficulties. I know I threw a lot at everybody, but I hope it was enough to get them interested. We are offering a special to Spraye customers that sign up with us. We are giving them the first month free. So please reach out to us. You know what? I should have our website on here, but it's voiceforpest.com. I'm sure everybody here knows how to use the internet and can find us. But give us a call. We'd love to talk to you. We'd love to show you more what we can do in depth. Caitlin, I really appreciate the opportunity and letting us get in front of your customers. I hope I did you proud, and thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing all of that info. It is a lot of info, but it's great stuff. And I continue to be amazed at AI and all of the things that it can do and how it can enable even solo operators to do more without having to hire. I think that's one of the coolest benefits of the AI powered phone solutions. And we're super excited to continue to expand our integration between Spraye and Voice for Turf. That is definitely something that we are working on to, tightly integrate more of those, AI features.
Absolutely.
Especially. So look for that coming soon. But now, right now you can do several things as Raymond demonstrated. So feel free to reach out to either of our teams if you have any more questions or want to learn more about the integration or just about signing up for Voice for Turf.
All right. Sounds good. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you again, Caitlin. I'm trying to see how to end this meeting. I'm sure there's a button in here somewhere.
All right. Thanks, guys, for joining us today.
All right, guys. Everybody have a great rest of the day.
Accordingly.
Bye-bye.